Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. All right, now over the weekend, the Celtics beat the Knicks 115-93. The Knicks still lead that series 2-1. The Thunder and Nuggets, they tied the series. They won 92-87. Now, yesterday, the Timberwolves beat the Warriors 102-97. Minnesota is leading that series 2-1.
No, that was Saturday.
And Indiana played yesterday. The Cavs and the Pacers. Pacers beat them 129-109. Indiana leads that series 3-1.
Celtics and Knicks play tonight.
Yep, play tonight at 7:30.
Pressure's on, Knicks.
Yep, Timberwolves play at 10 o'clock.
Pressure's on, Knicks.
We all right?
Hey.
We all right?
Hey.
We okay?
Pressure's on.
We okay. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning. Happy Monday. How y'all feeling?
Good.
Hey, girl. Happy belated Mother's Day.
Thank you. Same to you, Jess. Did you enjoy?
Girl. I did in the airport, but it was all fine when I got home. I was able to be with my kids.
That's a beautiful thing. All right, y'all, let's get into it. First up on the front page. In case you missed it, Newark, New Jersey Mayor Ross Baraka is out of jail after being arrested on Friday for allegedly trespassing at an ICE immigration detention center. Now, DHS spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin described the facility, saying it houses MS-13 gang members and rapists. While President Trump's acting U.S. attorney for New Jersey, Alina Habba, made the arrest. And here's what she had to say about it in part. Let's take a listen to
the mayor has publicly for 3 days been saying that he's going to break in, eventually did break in, was given multiple opportunities to remove himself. We will not stand for anybody getting in the way of getting rid of criminals in this country. It's very simple.
So Mayor Baraka, he spoke out about the incident following his release, saying he felt like he was targeted, his rights were violated, and he's weighing his legal options moving forward. Let's take a listen to his comments.
I'm the mayor of the city. I have the right to go anywhere in this city, particularly in places where I think our laws are being violated. I will confer with my lawyers to figure out what's the best pathway forward on this. I think they completely violated my rights. They obviously targeted me. It was more. I wasn't the only one out there. They came directly to me, right, and tried to arrest me. No one else.
So Baraka, he's urging fellow Democrats to continue to push for access to ICE detention centers. In the ICE detention center where he was arrested, it's giving good trouble, necessary trouble. But Democratic Representative Rob Menendez Jr., LaMonica McIver, and Bonnie Watson-Coleman were also involved in the incident at Delaney Hall. Watson claims the Trump administration is acting like a, quote, dictatorship in its pursuit to arrest immigrants in the country illegally. Let's take a listen to Congresswoman Bonnie Watson-Coleman's comments.
We, the people, will make sure that this administration adheres to the rules that separate us from dictatorships in other third world countries.
Democratic Rep. Rob Menendez Jr. added that this is unacceptable and should shake every American to their core, and our collective core is what he had to say. What do you guys think about that? I mean, you guys are up there in the region, in the general vicinity of the area. How does this make you feel?
I don't think this is just about a regional thing. Like, you know,
no, not at all. But this is definitely the precedent.
Yeah, especially when we just saw a judge get locked up 2 weeks ago. I mean, you know, these things happen so fast that we tend to forget. But we just saw a judge get locked up a couple of weeks ago. So it's not just a regional thing. I mean, I don't know how it's going to play out, to be totally honest with you. I'm not going to be up here on this radio acting like I got, you know, these predictions or I know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen in this country from this point on.
Well, does it scare you? I mean, in the sense that, you know,
because I believe in God, so it don't scare me. But you know, I just don't know how everything's gonna play out.
All right, y'all.
It's not trending in the right way. I'll tell you that much.
No, not at all.
No, not at all. But, you know, that's your front page news for 6 a.m. This is a situation that I will continue to keep an eye on as it is close to home for you guys. And then at 7, we will get into what's going on with the New York City Mayor, Eric Adams. He had a meeting with President Trump on Friday. So I will get into that.
All right.
In the next one.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. Now, in some quick sports, yesterday, the Cavs lost to the Pacers 129-109. Indiana leads that series 3-1. The Thunder and Nuggets tied their series 2-2. Thunder beat the Nuggets 92-87 tonight. The Knicks take on the Celtics at 7:30, and the Timberwolves take on the Warriors at 10 p.m. Let's go, New York. Go, New York.
This is a must-win game for the Knicks. It's a must-win game for the Knicks. I know, people think that if the Celtics win, it's just tied. No, if the Celtics win, it's going – no. If the Celtics win, it's going to be tough.
We lead the series 2-1 right now. We're going to win tonight.
They should.
We're going to win at home tonight. All right. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning. All right, y'all. So let's get back into front page news. So President Trump is headed to the Middle East, and during his trip, he's expected to accept a luxury jet from the royal family of Qatar, or Qatar. It depends on how you pronounce it based on where you are in the world.
That's illegal.
That's he's reportedly expected to use this jet as Air Force One, according to multiple sources reported to NBC. Now, the Boeing 747-8 jet will then be moved to Trump's Presidential Library Foundation following his White House term. And of course, as you mentioned, Charlamagne, the lavish gift is sparking concerns amongst legal scholars as to whether or not it is a legal gift.
See, we got to stop saying that, Morgan. We just got to call it what it is. It is illegal. Like when you say spark questions, amongst legal scholars on whether it's legal, it leaves it open for, discussion. That's not a discussion. It's illegal.
But is it illegal? Because
the U.S. Constitution prohibits government officials from accepting gifts from any king, prince, or foreign state.
Sounds good. All right. So it is illegal. Okay.
All right, so the White House is previewing President Trump's upcoming visit to the Middle East. He will visit U.S. troops at the air base in Qatar, the largest U.S. military base in the region. And he will also be in Saudi Arabia, where he's supposed to get that jet, and get an update on Israel-Gaza war ceasefire talks. Now, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that Trump is going to reaffirm his commitment for a free and prosperous Middle East. Let's take a listen to her comments.
President Trump will return to re-emphasize his continued vision for a proud, prosperous, and successful Middle East, where the United States and Middle Eastern nations are in cooperative relationships, and where extremism is defeated in place of commerce and cultural exchanges.
So this comes as Hamas is set to release the last known living American hostage in Gaza as part of an effort to reach that ceasefire agreement. In a statement on Sunday, Hamas said Israeli-American Eden Alexander will be released to help achieve a ceasefire and allow humanitarian aid to flow into the Gaza Strip. U.S. Special Envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, said he's traveling to Israel to secure Alexander's release, adding that the 21-year-old's family is ecstatic over the news. The ceasefire is an amazing thing, but that jet, that leaves less to be desired. Like you said, it's just
and that's why we can't ask answers. Like we ask answers, right? We'll be like, well, is the jet illegal? And what Envy did is what most people would do in that situation, because they're like, well, is it illegal? Because we're not telling people point blank, yes, it is.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because, and this is going to be bad, but he does stuff so blatant. I'm like, there's no way it could possibly be illegal.
Yes, and then the media...
If you saying, I'm going to take a $400 million jet.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly, but that's essentially what it is that he's doing things, and then it's like, okay, well, he's finding holes here and holes there, and then he's going to take it.
No, there's no holes. There's no holes. This is just blatantly illegal. This is blatant corruption.
What happens when a federal judge blocks this? You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't see it.
The U.S. Constitution prohibits government officials from accepting gifts from any king, prince, or foreign state, but we're in a post-constitutional country, so I guess that document means nothing to this administration, so who cares? But think about this. Outside of it just being widely illegal, these guys fund terrorist organizations. How do we know they can't just make this plane fall out the sky? And I know the Secret Service is going to do a sweep of the plane, but it's probably loaded with listening devices and tracking devices. They're going to have so much intel on our country. Mm-hmm. Why?
No, you ain't.
Beware the noble gesture.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a Trojan horse. Oh, no. All right, y'all, switching gears. Baseline tariffs of 10% are likely to stay in place as the U.S. negotiates trade deals with countries around the world. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick told CNN State of the Union that foreign companies and countries and not Americans will bear the burden of those tariffs. And Lutnick says trade deals with other countries will help American businesses. Let's take a listen to Howard Lutnick.
We will not go below 10%. That is just not a place we're going to go. We will, country by country, address their particular issues. Of course, we're going to have our shelves full of wonderful products made around the world, but we're going to make sure on their shelves that American products are finally given the fair treatment that they deserve.
So Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the Trump administration is closing in on a trade deal with China. In a post on social media, President Trump described the meeting as very good, saying there was great progress made. And of course, following the weekend's talk in Switzerland, Bessent said the two countries have agreed to pause their reciprocal tariffs for 90 days, with both sides lowering their rates by 115%. Chinese goods had been hit with tariffs as high as 145% under the Trump administration, and Beijing in turn applied a 125% levy on some U.S. goods. But it looks like things are going to try, or at least they're trying to strike a deal where some of that eases. And bringing things to home to you guys in New York, last story, the Department of Justice is releasing scores of documents in the permanently dropped federal corruption case of New York City Mayor Eric Adams. The release comes as Adams met privately with Donald Trump on Friday in Washington, D.C. to talk about various issues impacting New York City and New Yorkers. Let's take a listen to their comments.
I think he came in to thank me, frankly. I mean, I would say the primary reason, but he was very nice. He's a nice man.
To talk about infrastructure, to talk about the coordinations we could have, major projects, and all the things that New Yorkers feel are important.
So the judge in this case had ordered their release, setting the Friday as the deadline, and after media outlets demanded to see more of these documents. Now, more than 1,000 pages were released that include court exhibits and unredacted warrants. The DOJ's dismissing of the case also has stirred up a lot of controversy, saying that many feel like Adams is indebted to President Trump. And would you say, Charlamagne, from the audio, thank him?
Oh no, because it's just the way he said it. He basically came to kiss the ring. That's what.
Yeah. President Trump alluded to Adams saying that he thought he came over there to pretty much thank him, but he did say he was a nice guy. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what New Yorkers think. I know y'all got an election coming up, so I'm not gonna get too much into that. But yeah, that's your front page news. You can follow me on socials at Morgan Media, and for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. And yes, congratulations to all the graduates, like you mentioned, Envy. And Howard University actually set a record. They had their largest graduating class in history.
Oh, wow.
3,160 students in the school's history. The oldest was 72 and the youngest was 19. Isn't that a beautiful thing?
That is amazing.
I just want to put that out there. A little positive note. Just a little glimmer of light, you know what I mean? So,
salute to all the graduates of 2025.
Period. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
You too, girl.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.